Okay. Yeah, what a fantastic, incredible, crazy day. I actually woke up so late today and I really didn't want to do any work all day. I think I did maybe an hour of good work, which is obviously not enough in any way, shape, or form, if I may. But here we are. Did I tell you guys about what I watched yesterday? Okay, so I went to have dinner with Soleil yesterday, and we had like dinner at some French-ish, casual French restaurant. I don't think it should be considered French food, but that's not the point. The point is we were there, we were eating, then once we finished eating, we like hung out for a little bit longer. Then I went to watch a movie. You know how I said I wanted to watch Backrooms? I watched it. Watched the film. I was underwhelmed. That is genuinely the only way to say it, because I genuinely was underwhelmed. I thought that it would have more stuff in it. Like, the only way I can describe it is I think they did a really good job of showing us that it's a dangerous place, the Backrooms, I mean. But there's only like a few parts of the film that they encounter the organization. Okay, spoilers. There's apparently some organization that is obviously exploring this like massive underground space, and that is our first introduction to the Backrooms, because the film starts with, as far as I understood, the film starts with like a clip of some guy with a body cam and supplies and stuff exploring the Backrooms and getting attacked by some like creature. Okay? And we know it's like some guy. We don't know who it is. It's never explained, but we know that he's in contact with people because there's like stations set up to have like to be able to contact people, to be able to like reach out to people. And then you, like, in the middle of the film, there's like a little scene where you see like the character Clark gets captured by a camera, and that is shown to some random guy whose name is Phil, which we get to know at the end of the film. And so Clark is problematic for many reasons, but mostly like he has anger issues, isn't able to express himself, and now is like a separated man because he couldn't communicate his needs to his wife essentially, and was not able to, like, for a lot of reasons. That man is problematic, and overall, like, he just doesn't want to change, is what he says himself. So he finds the Backrooms, he's exploring it, he feels like this is his life's purpose now. At least from what I understood, like, he's a miserable man who is, I think, owns a furniture store and has to sell furniture to earn money, even though he's an architect. So I'm like, why couldn't you just get a job as an architect doing, like, in an architecture firm? But, like, hey, I'm not the one who wrote the freaking film, so I actually don't know why it was written like that. But the point is, like, he's someone who has studied and had big dreams of being an architect, wasn't able to be an architect, had to sell furniture because his wife wanted to be a lawyer but had to take a few years off school, and he was paying for her going to school and her being off school and her staying at home. So he was supporting his partner, and then they, like, had a fight, and then he got kicked out of his own house that he was paying for, and that was apparently a huge, like, issue for him, that, hey, I'm paying for this house, how dare you kick me out, type of deal. And then this is the part where I think I stopped sort of figuring out what was going on in the film, because while the film is great, I really was enjoying it. I did not think there was anything scary about it, unfortunately. Like, I have a very high tolerance for horror, so maybe it's just that I didn't find it scary, but it could have been really scary for other people. But I genuinely did not think it was scary. It felt like a weirdly a documentary instead of a film, specifically a horror film. Like, I know people were saying like they were scared that, you know, you get scared of liminal spaces, and I think that one I understand. I don't think the Backrooms, the film, was scary. There was nothing to be scared of. Like, even the strange skittering sounds and the random pirate leg guy thing was not scary. Even the main character, who I finally figured out was actually the therapist, whose name is Dr. Mary Klein, and she has like a book and everything, and like she's miserable for other reasons, but she also gets inside the back rooms, which they still don't know what they should call it. Like, they don't have a name for it. See, I didn't expect that this was supposed to be a multiple part film series. Like, the first film sets it up like it's giving, how should I say it, what's the name of that, Poppy Playtime chapter 1 vibes, where it like stops at a point where you're like, oh, I think you're gonna go back to see what happens next. I'm sure there's gonna be a second film in this franchise. It just seems like it's set up like that because they don't explain why the Backrooms exists. Obviously, a short film like this one would not really do it justice. So I understand why they would want to make this a multi-film, but I don't think they set it up well enough. Like, the writing is still fantastic, and it is still a gripping film. Like, you still are interested, but there's a lot of lull periods in the film. I feel like this would have been better as a series, like as a show, because the pacing in the film is fairly confusing. But I'm not really sure why certain things are sped up and other things are not. Like, there's a whole section in the beginning where the only things that are happening after like the first little clip of the Backrooms is Clark is going to his furniture store, he's gonna film a thing, blah blah blah. Like, he's just living his life, he's gone to the therapist, they've had a conversation. Like, at no point am I interested in caring about any of these characters. Like, I have no sense of attachment to any of them. I think that is something that any film, if you can't make me attached to the character, if there is not a good enough hook in the beginning, I find it very hard to keep my, not just like my interest in it, not really my attention. Like, I can pay attention to the film, but my interest in it steadily grows. Like, it will go away, unfortunately. I don't think the film, for me, everyone can have their own opinions, but for me, I don't think it did a good enough job of setting up these characters so that I could care about them. Because at no point was I sympathizing with Clark or Mary or whoever the guy was in the beginning. I'm not even sure what this company that used to make MRI machines but now is now exploring the Backrooms is supposed to be doing. Like, I just felt confused at why there needed to be this long exposition for things that we haven't developed any emotional attachment to. Like, the thing about good stories, good films, is that they start on a, like, wherever they start, they usually end up making you care about the main character or the ensemble cast. For whatever reason, you've already initiated the start of an emotional attachment to those characters, so you're more likely to end up enjoying following their journey. And while horror isn't necessarily about enjoying the scary gore, blood, or whatever, like, I'm sure people do, I like horror because I think it's a fun genre. I enjoy the violence, blood, and gore, and supernatural of it all. So not necessarily the violence, but like, I do enjoy the spookiness. I find it really fun. So like, it's not that horror can't be enjoyable, it's just that in this case it just felt boring, unfortunately. Like, it's not that I regret watching the film, because I really did want to watch it, because everyone was like, oh my god, it's such a good film, it's such a good film. And obviously now that you've said that it's a good film, I want to watch it. But I, for the life of me, couldn't figure out at what point you're supposed to be like super captivated by what's happening in the film. Like, even in the part where Mary has gone inside or he's exploring, or Clark is exploring with his like assistant, like his store assistant and her boyfriend. Like, even then I didn't care about any of those characters. I couldn't for the life of me feel like I am interested in their story, in their journeys. So for me, that's probably one of the biggest failings that I've seen in a while. Like, it's not hard to make somebody be interested in a character's journey, but at no, like, there's no explanation to why any of these people are important to the grander, in the grander scheme of things, right? Mary, I can still understand. She survives the back rooms and manages to leave the back rooms and like meet up with whoever the company people are, right? So I can see like her being important. I can see that there's some like sort of setup for you to care about her, but not enough for me to be like, I would want to watch the second film in the series. That's why I said I think it would be better if it was a series. I feel like the film, again, spoiler alert, this whole thing has just been spoilers, frankly. And but like, I take movie watching very seriously because I enjoy them. Like the same, like I am a big believer in enjoying a good story. I love a good story. I feel like I just enjoy reading, watching, experiencing is the right word to use here, good stories. Or stories in any way, shape, or form. Like, even bad films can be fun if you're watching them with the intention of actually wanting to experience the story. This one isn't necessarily a bad film. Like, there's nothing particularly bad about the film, except maybe the way that they decided to order each of these scenes. I feel like if they started on the section where he's struggling to make ends meet for his furniture store, and he films a... Like, I don't know why he's an alcoholic. I don't understand why he has to be in a furniture store. Like, if you know, like, why couldn't you build up savings and then, like, why couldn't you have a honest conversation with your wife and tell her, like, hey, I want to support you. It's not possible if we're not both in this together. There's a lot of things where I'm just like, this is a new, like, it's a moot point. This is not a problem. This is just, you just don't know how to solve it. It's not an actual problem. This is just like a you thing. You have a skill issue. No one else is seeing the solution here. Like, I don't know. There were a lot of things. Like, there was this little section. Like, I'm sure maybe if you play the game, you understand the film a bit more and are already interested in it. But for somebody who hasn't played the game yet, but has been interested in the game previously, and I've wanted to play it for a while, don't get me wrong, I just don't find the film to be a really good introduction to the franchise. Not only am I less inclined to play the game after this, I just feel like there was no reason for this film to exist. It didn't do anything for it to be like a good film, if I may. No setup for why we need to care about any of these characters. Who is the pirate guy? We don't know. He just like, Clark just says, it's me, and I guess it's like some convoluted version of him, an idealized version, a version who's gotten everything he wants, or so we could think. But then there's no explanation to why that character, like why the pirate guy is chasing, not like didn't just eat Clark but is chasing Mary. Like, there's no reason for that to be there. We don't know why there's malice. We don't really understand anything. There's no explanation, no exposition of those points that are like, that would be, you know, fascinating and would keep you coming back for more. I left the theater just being like, was that too long or too short? I don't know. You know, like, this is the first time in a long time where I felt like a film just was not good. Like, even me, Soleil, and Suzu just watched Masters of the Universe a week ago. So, like, I can't even be like, oh, I haven't watched a bad film in a while. Like, it was objectively a bad film made for adults. It was a good film if it was for kids. I'm sure it seems to be that it was supposed to be for kids, but, like, they didn't market it like that. Or they didn't make it so that kids would feel like, oh, this is something we want to be watching. Because the franchise itself, He-Man, is good. It's a well-known franchise that people love still, but for some reason it's just not. You get my drift? It's a bit weird. I just, I just don't see the point in watching the film because it does nothing unless it's like, oh, before watching the film you should read a book or watch the play the game, watch a let's play or something. Like, I don't know, maybe they want you to experience something about the backrooms before they want you to watch the film, but then I think it defeats the purpose of having this be a film. If it's supposed to be an entry point for people who have not been previously interested in the game, or like don't know about it or don't understand liminal space horror, whatever, and this is supposed to be an introduction, it would not be a good one. Safe to say, like, I was just disappointed. I didn't know that it would be this, like, boring. I hate to say, but it really was just boring. Like, I was just like, huh? What? This makes no, like, there's no reason for me to care about any of these characters. There's no real explanation to why certain things are happening, just that they are. And as much as it's fine, but there's no context clues either. Like, it's fine if you don't explain it, like, straight at me. But as long as the explanation exists somewhere in the story, or like there's some sort of context to what's going on, there's some sort of clues, there's some sort of foreshadowing, I would have liked it more. I would have been like interested in it more. I would have been like, oh, okay, wow, this makes sense. Even if Clark isn't supposed to be our main character, the framing for the first half of the film makes it seem like he is. Or it's more like, yeah, they're sharing, they're like a duo where like Clark and Mary are sharing the main character role, but even then, like, the framing makes it seem like Clark is somehow more important than Mary, and at some points it's like, why are we looking at Mary's perspective? Why are we seeing all these flashbacks? What about her life is so interesting that it connects her to the backrooms, right? There's no rhyme or reason or sequence that connects all of these, at least not the one that I could spot. And I'm fairly confident about my media literacy and reading comprehension, so I'm not trying to be like surface level here. I really did think about it after I finished watching it. Like, I spent 2 hours just going like, huh, I don't know, maybe I missed something. I really want to say maybe I missed something, because like the set design, fantastic. I think the acting was really, really good. Like, the effects and everything is really, really good. Cinematography, fantastic. Like, a lot of the things were so good. I don't understand why some other things didn't make sense, where they were like a little bit, huh, like, what? The story feels incomplete, not intentionally, but by mistake. Like, it's by chance they made a mistake here. Maybe the Singapore region version of the film is different than the American or the UK version. I genuinely don't know. I don't know if I want to go and watch a bunch of videos about it and like try to understand what other people are saying, and maybe I did miss something and I'm just not aware of what I missed. Like, I'm not sure, but I think it's a bad first watch for anyone who wants to get into liminal space horror, or like cares about the game. Maybe they don't care about the game, but they've never heard of the game, but this seems like a fun introduction. They go and research and they're like, oh, there's a game, I want to play it. I feel like they wouldn't have as much fun either. Yeah, in the end, I'm like not sure why the film exists. Anyways, let's do some music making. I don't know how much stuff we're actually gonna get done. I very confidently said, oh yeah, today's the day we finish the song, but there's a high possibility I don't, because I spent the entire day practically avoiding work. I don't know why. I've just been like sleepy, tired, hungry the whole day. I drank caffeine, didn't help. I ate a lot of food, and when I say a lot, I mean like truly a lot of food. I didn't take a nap, but I really wanted to try taking a nap. I even hung out with Hex. So like, I did all the things that I could that would make me like excited and motivated, or like have a little bit more energy, but I swear to God, like today just does not feel like it. What up, guys? Oh, what already activated it though. Ah, my god. It's okay. I'll get a different one. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. It's fine. It's whatever. It's whatever. It's okay. We don't need Anina actually. Oh, that's so much better. Holy shit. Wow. Huh. I'm gonna try something. Doesn't that sound much better now? Like, it was bothering me that it wasn't, like, much more balanced. Can you guys hear this even? Have I been playing the BGM? Didn't even check if the audio was going. Oh, it is. Okay, beautiful. I need to clean up the transitions. That is so much work, though. I don't wanna. I don't wanna, guys. Wait. Let me listen to this again. change these colors again. It's like really annoying me that it's such a weird color. Like, that is very much not the kind of color that I want. Okay. This is not a bad color. This is not a bad color at all. You know what? Let's stick to these shades, you know? I feel like these shades might work better. Yep. Like, we gotta keep the creepiness of it all. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I have a feeling I'm not gonna do more than this because I already feel like not doing any more work. I cannot believe myself. I've just been, I don't know how to explain it, but I think it's probably because I'm close to my period. But I've felt like not fatigue, but just like this general like I don't want to do any work. And like it's not that I can't come up with the idea, and if I so force myself and I sit here, I will probably end up doing more work, and I will probably do it to a level I'm happy with. But for whatever reason, I'm just not happy with anything that I'm doing. I'm just like I don't want it. Change it, change it, change it. Anyways, it's gonna be July soon. Can you guys imagine? It's gonna be July soon. I can't. I can't. We've been like I'm on the day 41 of this 93-day long album making process, right? And I'm pretty much on schedule. Like I'm very much like on time and I'm doing all the stuff that I'm supposed to do and I will finish before June ends. And that's great. I'm so happy that that is the case. I'm literally just like, oh my god, though. This like oh yesterday I was recording a cover and then I was mixing and mastering it, and for the first time in a long time I've actually sat down and mastered something myself on Logic. Normally I choose to do everything on BandLab because it's simple and I don't have to think about it, and it just does the mastering for me. Like the mastering, I don't even think they do a lot. I think they just compress and then they just like add a limiter and raise up the volume as much as possible. But then mastering doesn't sound bad ever, so I don't like ever think too much about using that. But when I was recording the cover that I'm releasing this month, um I tried recording on BandLab and it just didn't sound like what I wanted it to. So I just kept being like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna record it on Logic. So yesterday when I was recording on Logic and like I did all the mixing, added all the effects, I was mastering the song, like the cover, and I was like, wow, this is like the first time in a long time I've mastered, and it sounds really clean. Like it sounds a very transparent master that I was surprised because like in all of the mastering exercises they made us do last semester, like I don't think I ever like managed to get it sound so clean. And obviously like part of the reason is because like it's a backing track, so I didn't do a lot of mixing. But I'm hoping when I try to start doing mastering for these tracks, I will feel like a lot more sensible about it, that it will not feel as um scary. If I'm being honest, like it's not like I don't know how to do mastering. It's just that every single time I do any of these things, mixing or mastering, I always feel like I don't know what I'm doing. And I think that's a very normal response because I tend to, when I'm learning something, I tend to put myself in the position that I don't know enough ever. That I always have to keep learning more. Like, I'd never have expertise on the subject. Even now, when I'm studying music in music school, like, I don't feel like an expert. I feel like if I really go out and I say it, like, I'm gonna be laughed at. I think that's a fair fear though. I think it's a valid fear to have, considering like no matter how far you go in a industry, there's always like a mountain that you haven't gotten up to yet. But if at any point you're like, "Oh, I'm the best," I think you've lost the plot, and that you're like at a point where you've plateaued, and now you just think that is the peak of that industry, that you've reached the very top of the top of the top, and there's nothing else left to work on. And I think that is a very dangerous thought because Like, even in science, much less art, I don't think there's a pinnacle of skill in art. There's people who are extremely skilled, that they have really good skills, that they're very practiced, that they're close to perfection, but they're never perfect. And those people, I see often that they work the hardest to improve. Every single day, they're like practicing, they're like working on the technical stuff. And that's all the more reason that I feel like I can't get arrogant about my level of skill and can't be like, oh my god, yeah, I know I'm doing good. Like, I'm already so good. Like, I don't need to worry about it. That's why I always feel like, especially because when it comes to mixing and mastering, I keep being told I'm not that good, and so I am inclined to believe it, even though like the stuff I make and this it sounds pretty normal, like it sounds like a complete piece of work. So sometimes I'm just like, huh, maybe it's not that I'm not good, maybe it's just that I'm not as practiced or as experienced as them. And so like some of these projects that I decide to do for myself are like also just ways to affirm to myself that I'm not that bad either. Like, it's not, I can be average. I'm okay with being average, but I just can't be below average. I want to be above average, not below average. That's it. There's enough people in the world who are below average. Like, I don't need to be one of them. But in this case, like, I have to say, like, I genuinely feel so much more confident about my skill after doing these like 11 songs. I know for a fact that I will feel a lot more like sorted with and able to like pursue more music and like make more stuff without feeling like, oh no, I don't know what I'm doing, or like I don't have enough skill yet, I need to wait, that I'm not ready for some reason. That is a mentality that I don't want to get trapped in ever, which is why I work actively to combat it. Because I think the second you put yourself at the point where you're like, no, I have to be ready to do something, oh my god, you're kind of fucked. You're never gonna be ready. No one's ever ready to do the things that they're scared about, you know? It's just like, that is a myth. You can't ever be truly ready for those things that scare you. You just have to, like, shut your mouth and just do it. Do it scared, you know? Like that thing keeps coming up on social media these days as well, where people are like, you should just do it scared. Just do it scared. It's okay. It's okay. If something goes wrong, it's okay. Like, people literally don't care. It's genuine effort that usually moves people. It's like actual sincerity. So I really do believe in like, and I've always believed in like that you should just do it. Don't wait until you're ready, because the chances are you'll never be ready. And then that thing that you wanted to do is just gonna stay left behind, being like, I'll do it when I'm ready to do it. Like, the only few things that I'd like say that about is whether it's within the day, where it's like, oh, I'll do it when I'm ready to do it, but it still has to be done today. Like, if it's not done today, I'm not gonna like attempt to finish it. So it has to be done today. I don't know. I just felt like giving life advice all of a sudden. Or is this considered life advice? I would not consider it life advice, honestly. Um, if anything, I would consider it advice to make sure you actually do the things you want to instead of, you know, pursuing empty platitudes. But yeah, man, I really don't want to do any more work. I'm so done. I'm so tired already. I like wrote down 5 things to do today. A lot of them involving songs, and like that would be like basically finishing those songs. I can confidently say I've done maybe a half of a thing out of 5. 0.5 out of 5. That's really funny. Maybe I'll change my mind. Like, I have a feeling I'll go to sleep early as well. Should I just play a game? Since I'm not like like I don't feel like doing any work. Should I just be playing a game? Okay, I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna turn off game capture. Like, I didn't even last for 30 minutes before I decided actually not anymore. I did like maybe 20 minutes, not even 20, 10 minutes of decent work, and then I devolved to talking again. Says something about me, doesn't it? So what should we do? I actually don't know. We could play Valorant. Isn't the new like new whatever the word is new map coming out soon? I actually don't know when. I saw the trailer and I was very entertained by it. Um Let me sign into Valorant. Let me get rid of my laptop first. See, that's the thing with like having to stream from your PC, but you have a laptop that you use. I'm really contemplating investing in a Mac Mini soon. I was checking it out in the Apple Store. Like when I say soon, I mean probably like somewhere next year or so. At some point, maybe like next year, in like at least a year or less. Maybe when I go home, because anyways, I'm gonna have to like get a new setup all again at home. So maybe when I go home, it might be like worth it. But at the same time, I'm like not sure if that's what I want to do or like if I even need it that quickly. Yeah. What is that in Valorant? 2KO. What's 2KO? 2XKO. What's that? I've never heard of it. I have no idea what all of these things are. What am I looking at? Anyways, back to what I was saying. What was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. Bruh, I'm so problematic. Seriously. I don't know if they gave Jade like a buff or something, because Sage. Her name is Sage. I'm doing it again. For like the first few weeks that I was playing Valorant, I remember not remembering Sage's name, and I kept calling her Jade because of like the Jade orbs and stuff that she uses. Um, like I can't help myself. Okay, it's not my fault that they look like that. And that she's like that. Oh hey, do I have enough? Oh wow, okay. Wait, you guys can't see what I'm seeing. Hold up, hold up. Wait, I'm gonna. When did I get Melee? Did she get a buff? No, right? Equip a barrier orb, slow orb, healing orb, resurrection. Yeah, it's the same. She's like has not changed. Wait, then I don't get it. What's new? Um, what the heck? I don't get it. I'm looking at these things and I'm genuinely thinking like the only thing that seems interesting in this is the fact that there's a new map. So like all of the other things are like kind of boring. I'm not gonna play Valorant, guys. I just wanted to check it out really quickly. While I was checking it out, I was talking to you guys. I don't remember what I was saying before this. Um, so new topic. I'm probably gonna go back to talking about backrooms. Like, I think my biggest problem with the film is literally just that there's no reason for me to care about any of the characters, which makes me low-key resentful of the fact that they want me to be there and watch the film. I don't know what to do right now. Man, has the world gotten boring or what? I'm kidding. That's an overestimation. There's a lot of cool things happening all the time these days. Oh my god, they have Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. The complete Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. What? For free on Epic Game Store, guys. That's crazy. Oh my god. Can you guys believe that? I am surprised. I didn't think like... Wow, okay, wow. I, like I'm saying, like, I genuinely just don't know what... Maybe I genuinely don't know what I missed in the film. Like, maybe I should read a few articles about it. Hold up, I'm gonna look at a few articles now. We're gonna read them together, but I'm gonna read them out to you. Okay. Oh, there was a web series. Wow. There's a web series that you have to watch. Right, so the film's premise is that this dejected architect turned furniture salesman, this is somebody else's explanation. He has a therapist. He's like, there, he finds an opening to another world, essentially the back rooms. And Clark has 2 employees who are a couple. Like, see, there's this guy whose like main job on Reddit is to write for like explanations for this shit, is confused why... Okay, I'm gonna move to the chatting screen because like it's just more conducive to chatting. So in this explanation, this guy is like, Clark becomes obsessed with the backrooms and plotting out the spaces within. Why? Who knows? Maybe he likes it and is curious about it, I guess. See, I just don't understand why we're following some guy. It's never explained why he's important and why we must care about his perspective. Which is why I dislike the fact that he's being used as a protagonist, or he's like important. But there's a web series, so I might go and watch the web series. Like Mary, his therapist, tries to get him to snap out of it and uses terminology from her book The Window Within to help him find his way to normalcy. And Clark isn't interested in it because he is just... But he wants... Like, he is trying to get closure over his wife leaving him, but he's not really interested in listening to this therapist. When the... Like, there is a scene where we see her mom is very scared of the outside, the therapist's mom, when she was a child. And then we see the therapist go back to her old house, which is getting broken down to build, like, a high-rise building or some shit like that. And, like, overall, like, there's not a lot, but there's enough to know that the therapist is also going through something, through something for her own self. Like, but the thing is, most therapists also need therapy. No one is going into psychology without having issues of their own. It starts with curiosity about your own self and about people around you, and then you decide, hey, I do actually want to help people other than me and mine, because you can't help yourself and people around you just by psychoanalyzing and self-therapizing yourself. My mom's a therapist, I think I would know. Yeah, okay, whatever. The catalyst, he finds a chute. His employees kind of die. Bobby dies, Cat runs off. Clark runs off. We don't know why he's found whatever he found in the back rooms. Like, we don't understand why he's like interacting with these seemingly human characters. Like, he calls Dr. Mary. She ends up being like, I need to figure out, like... See, even this guy says it almost feels like a whole section of the movie is cut out, or there's a jump forward in time, as we simply need to assume that Bobby and Kat are dead, that Clark left the back rooms in order to call her and leave the message, but then comes back in and lives there by eating pieces of the bodies of the living mannequins. Because, like, he finds these, like, people who kind of are seemingly humanoid, but they're not really. They're almost like memories of somebody, but they're remembered kind of wrong. So, like, it is a reflection of the way that our own minds work. And somebody was saying, like, it seems like this is the backrooms is supposed to be a reflection of the human mind and the way that the human mind works. And like that, yes, could be the case, but there's a lot of like confusing, like, in like confusing things that don't really make sense. Again, no reason for us to care about any of these characters. No no setup for why any of these characters should have emotional attachment with the audience, or like why the audience should emotionally be attached to these characters. So the best thing about movies and films and TV shows and like stuff like that, and books also, I'm just talking about media in general, even games, is that you form an emotional attachment to the character that you're following, the perspective that you're seeing. Even if you're seeing from like a third person god perspective, even then you are forming emotional attachments because you are witnessing someone's journey or are participating in it. In the case of a movie or a TV show, you're almost always an observer. In games, you can be a participant. In books, you are also an observer, but you can literally live their life because books let you imagine those things, and so your brain can take them and make them their own, right? That's why I think books are such a great way of transporting new stories and for getting more like experiences for yourself, because you really truly are experiencing them in your head, even if it's not in real life. But what's in your head is true, my guy. But like this, even people who are acquainted with the universe and are understanding like the logic and the backstory and the lore and everything are confused why there's parts of the film that just literally feel like they make no sense. Like, I don't understand why. I don't understand why there's not a explanation of the backrooms, or like in this place, this person who has written like their thoughts on the film and their explanation on the film says that everything is very much understandable as long as you watch the web series. But the thing is, yes, I'm sure a lot of people must have come in through watching the web series to have been watching or playing the game, watching the web series, and then watching the film. But I'm sure there's just as much of the audience who has not watched the web series, who has not played the game, who has no idea what they're doing here. They just want to watch a film and it looks like it's interesting, so they go and watch it. And then they're left with more questions than answers, and more questions just like, what? I just don't get it, and I don't think I want to understand, because there's no setup for you to care about any of these characters, much less Dr. Mary Klein. Like, there's no reason for you to sympathize, empathize, or feel any curiosity or interest towards her. My biggest problem is literally just this. I just wish that they did a better job of setting up these characters to be people you're actually emotionally attached to, so that their journeys and like the lack of answers, or the more questions that you have, the more it feels like it's imperative to the story for you to find the answers to them, a reason for you to come back and watch the second film, or wait for the second film, go back to watch the web series. My questions are literally just like, why should I care about any of these characters? Like, I can care about the lore, I can be fascinated by the world, but then I can just be like, why are we following these characters instead of like the Phil guy who's with the company that's like researching these things or whatever? I don't understand is that why they have a web series. I just I didn't feel queasy, unfortunately. Like, I didn't. I'm reading this and I just don't think I agree with the fact that it was scary or unsettling. Unsettling a little bit, creepy maybe, but even then I would say if you just go in and you're like, I'm willing to be entertained, you will not feel scared. At least for me, I know I have a high tolerance to horror, but I genuinely didn't feel scared. I genuinely didn't at any point of time was like, oh yeah, now I gotta look over my shoulder. If a horror movie that is supposed to be like unsettling and make you scared of just walking into a random place and getting stuck in a never-ending maze that essentially leads to your death, it didn't make me feel that way. like there are people who commented, and this person has made an edit saying that like their assertion of the film was a bit premature. The people are right in the comments. The film was visually appealing. I agree. The film was visually gorgeous. It was really a great visual experience. It was wasted potential. Right? Like his motivations, like they're literally saying the same problems that I have with the film. I literally watched it yesterday. I think my freshest thoughts are still till now, right now. Like yesterday, I feel like I was like, I don't think I processed it enough. I'm gonna think about it a little bit more. I tend to do that with films. Anyway, even if they're like very stupid films, like I still enjoy thinking about them a little bit more critically and digging deeper into like the storyline and the characters and like sort of breaking it down to enjoy it a little bit longer. And in this case, yes, I don't think Clark's character was well developed. He didn't resonate with anyone. His motivations are entirely unclear. You have no idea why he's doing what he's doing, why he wants to live in the back rooms, why he thinks this is the place for him. None of that is explained, which I think is a huge failing on part of the story that is supposed to be like enjoyed. If you're gonna make somebody a main character and it's not just the backrooms is the main character, at which point I would be like the focus should have been entirely only on the backrooms. No exposition of this guy's normal life. You don't need to know that he's somebody who owns a furniture store, that he lost, like he got separated from his wife, that he has a therapist. You don't need to know all of those things if the focus is only on the backrooms. If the backrooms is supposed to be the character we resonate with the most, or that we are following the most, or that we are supposed to be emotionally attached to the most, or the main character, the only thing that we need to care about, that there's no need to like introduce the therapist or the main character. Like we don't need to see Clark or Mary. We don't need to see them. They don't need to exist. It could literally just be the people studying the backrooms and the backrooms, and then like a back and forth and seeing all these characters die in various weird ways, and like them unraveling the mystery. It's more like a murder, like a episodic sort of mystery type of thing. Like it, yeah, it's just right. Like if it had been, yeah, I just feel like Bobby and Kat definitely had a more compelling storyline, for sure. Like, they were more interesting as characters. It would have been much more interesting if they had been the ones who discovered it and had gone in and then brought Clark in, and then he goes kind of insane and unhinged. And he becomes sort of like the villain for the first film of he's essentially just made them die and also lures Mary into the scene, but it's not framed like that. It's framed like Clark has this unhinged or like obsession with the backrooms and he just wants to map it up, but it's never clear why. Him being an architect is not a reason. Just so we're clear, you just because you're an architect doesn't mean you have an obsessive interest in trying to map out rooms in a maze-like building. Just so we're clear, like at no point is that something that is discussed in the film, even vaguely. I don't understand why, like, somebody picked up, there's a scene, and this guy also picks it out, right? There is a big chunk of the film that leaves things unexplained, he says. From the moment he's trapped down below, and someone picks up the camera, to the moment that he calls Mary to tell her that he found the window. There's no explanation to what happened in the middle. I don't know if they want to cover it later, so they, like, don't show you it, but it makes no sense. Why is there... I thought, like, that with the camera being picked up and him, like, basically you see the camera being picked up and then you hear Kat saying, like, behind you, and then something rushes at him, and then, like, the assumption is he dies, but then Mary gets a call saying, like, oh, I found the window. I'm not coming back anymore. I thought that was, like, his final words that he'd left her to be like delivered on a certain moment, or maybe like the monster did it and has now lured Mary, his next victim. I feel like that would be a much more acceptable plot line, and that Clark's character is gone. We don't need to see him anymore. His whole role was just for Mary to be lured into, and she is the protagonist we're supposed to follow, but even then it's not clear, right? Like, it's like, it's just I like the first half of the film was good. I don't... I just don't like this. I just don't think it was a well-developed film or a story. It's a good film. It's a decent film, but it's not a good story. It lacks a lot of the strong points that make a good story like good. Emotional attachment, a good foundation, a lot of character development, or like reasons for like your clear motivations for each character's behavior, and like you can see their flaws not at a glance, but you can see them. You when you experience the world with them, you can see them. Like it's a very shaky storyline, and it's very obvious that like something went wrong in the middle and they didn't have a way to change it. Like it's still really good direction overall, and acting is really, really, really gorgeously done. So is the visual language. I think I loved the way that they shot everything. I just don't think it was a good enough story. And it's a missed opportunity because it's just such an interesting universe that shooting it like this just means that you like miss out on so many more interesting things that you could have done with the story. Even if it is following a middle-aged man after he's separated with his wife and he's feeling resentful and angry that not only did she not support him when he was supporting her, but she had the audacity to leave him. Even if it's from that angle, having his intentions, motivations be clear, or why he decides to go into the back rooms and why he needs to stay there and map it out. Like, what does he want to prove? There's literally no reason. Like, there's a conversation in the film he has with his therapist where he sort of walks in to her, like, clinic and sits in the office, and then he's sort of frantic and a little bit unhinged sounding, and he talks to her and he's like, how dare you look at me like that, and he runs off, right? And he's talking about the back rooms in the first place. So that part I think was done, like, up until then I was like, okay, I see it. And then it just sort of devolves into being like, okay, so he's dragged like two people who are unrelated to his cause into this to borrow a camera, and then he's led them to their death, and now he's living with his wife's memory doppelganger thing in a memory of their house. Like, it's a very weird switch up, and there's no reason why he likes any of those things. Like, you've never explained why he needs to map out the back rooms. Never. I just don't understand why we don't understand his motivations as a character. Like, it's never clear. Not Mary's motivations, not Clark's motivations, not the company's motivations. And according to this person on Reddit, obviously if you watch the web series, you know what's going on with the company and whatnot. But that's the thing. If I didn't want to watch the web series, if I didn't know about the web series, if I didn't go and look it up again, I wouldn't know about any of these things. And I'd just be like, wow, that's a weird film that I didn't understand half of. I don't know why I would watch the second one, because the first one was really shakily built. Like, no matter how beautiful it is, if it's not an interesting and enjoyable story, like, people are less likely to be invested in it. Just so we're clear. Unfortunate for a film that had so much potential. There's a lot of theories running around, like, that I can see in this thread, but there's somebody who literally says what I was thinking. I don't know why of all the stories in this head, this is the story Kane, the director, wanted to tell with his first feature film. It doesn't even make things easier to understand for general audiences or fans of the lore, as almost nothing, including the entities here, have anything to do with the web series. So even if as someone who's seen the whole series, I was confused. Honestly, this felt like a spec script A24 had lying around that they gave Kane to adapt into a Backrooms movie. It does seem like that. I also agree with all the points of this post, except for the idea of the young characters getting stuck in the complex. Like, yeah. I genuinely think that this movie would have been better if it was from the perspective of the async employees, the company. I don't even know the name of the company. I just sort of started tuning out by the end, I'm being honest. Because it was just getting so freaking boring and monotonous. Like, yes, I agree that it would have been better if it was from the perspective of the company. And this person says it, make it that it's a new hire. They've just started and they don't know anything. Now we get an explanation of, like, it's a good setup for a second film. This is not a good setup for a second film. It's not encouraging for anyone of the audience, whether it's old fans or new fans. They're not gonna be, like, encouraged to go and show interest in the second film or discuss theories or do things like that. Like, it's just not a good story to start off with. Like, you can add footage, scenes, like, obviously you want the general audience to be interested. Like, the thing about a film is it can reach out a lot more people than a web series can, okay? A game can, because, like, there is a smaller market for games and web series, okay? If people already know about the web series, they're gonna watch it. If somebody already knows about Kane, they're gonna watch it maybe because they're a fan of his personal storytelling style. But this film was his good, like, his first chance, a very important first chance, because it's his debut feature film, to get people interested in, one, his storytelling style, and two, the lore of this universe. And this is absolutely, I think, the worst way I've seen somebody do it. Like, I'm saying there's good examples. There's Marvel, there's a new DC universe. Like, there's a lot of good things that can be pulled from. This, perhaps, most definitely is not it. Like, even if you're, like, looking at some younger franchises that have, like promise more films in the future that are more, like, of a universe, a cinematic universe. There's so many these days. I don't understand why he chose to do it this way. Like, I just don't... Somebody literally said it and broke it down in the, like, the most base way possible. They're literally like, dullest horror movie of the year so far, wasted potential. I don't doubt that. I actually agree with it. I think he died. My personal theory is he's already dead. Like... So, most people have the same issue as me. Like... Most people are literally thinking the same thing as me. I just literally, wow. Wow. Like, literally everyone has the same questions. Apparently the web series is better, so I'm probably gonna watch it. Somebody made it in a whole, like, in a compilation, the whole film. Yeah. I'm just disappointed. I think the film would have done a lot better if it was from the perspective of a backrooms employee, like, of an async employee. Let's use the correct terms when we can. Like, why would you choose to do it this way? I just don't understand. I was really looking forward to it, considering, like, I just watched Obsession like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, oh my god, I want to watch another horror film. Backrooms is right there. I'm gonna watch it. Now I understand why there was so many empty seats in the theater. It seems that people had already realized it's not as good as they thought it was going to be. Anyways, I'm probably gonna watch. I'm stumbling on my words a lot. I'm probably gonna watch the web series and see if it's, like, better, if I may. I'm not gonna talk for much longer, I'm realizing. I'm so tired. I honestly don't know why I'm so tired. I wish I could figure it out. Hex was literally like, Hex was saying that it's probably because I've been working on stuff a lot and it's now started to... I'm feeling fatigue from all that. And she's not wrong. She's not wrong. She's never wrong. She's great. I love Hex. It's probably part of the reason, if I'm being honest. I've just been, like, sort of... I probably just, like, need a little bit more nutrition, man. Need to eat better, I guess. I've been eating pretty well though. I don't know where that's coming from either. What's going on with me? Ah, I want a snack. Last night I made fried dumplings. Okay, basically what I did was I fried dumplings on all sides but in a pan. So it was actually pan frying dumplings on all sides. It got super crispy and delicious. And like it was so good. I want to have more. Unfortunately, I don't think I will be able to have more. Not today at least. But goddamn, it would have been so nice to be able to have more. I just don't want to make any like fried food because then I have to clean it up myself. I won't lie, the dumplings do sound good. I love food. I kind of want to eat food right now. Okay, I don't know what else to talk about. I made pasta for dinner. That was really good. I have a second portion for lunch tomorrow. There's a possibility that I end up eating it in the middle of the night, but I hope that I don't do that so I can actually have it for lunch tomorrow so I don't have to worry about making lunch tomorrow. I'm closer to the end of my rice jar, so that's always nice. And I don't even know what to talk. There's literally nothing to talk about. I already said what I wanted to say about Backrooms. Like, I don't want to compare it with Obsession because they are essentially different genres. Like, they might both be horror, but I think, like, psychological or thriller comedy type of horror, comedy thriller horror, thriller comedy horror. It's what I would consider Obsession as. Is not the same as this kind of liminal space psychological horror that Backrooms wants to pose as, even though it did not do that for me. It didn't even scare me. There was maybe like one good jump scare where I was like, oh, I was surprised by that one, but almost every other thing was predictable. But anyways, like if we're talking about Obsession, I don't want to compare them because I don't think they are similar films. They are not in the same category at all for me. Like, as it stands, Obsession itself is a good story, which I think is super important. No matter what genre it is, it has to be a really, really compelling storyline for you to, one, be invested and enjoy the film. But also, I think it does a really good job in, one, making the characters feel really, really special and like you want to follow them, and then feels relatable in a way that the Backrooms can't. And instead of taking advantage of the fact that you can't relate to Backrooms, like, they didn't take advantage of it. They made it seem like it should be relatable. That you find a weird portal to a different, like, shade of reality and then end up lost in there finding weird, like, I don't know, creatures inside it. Basically, nothing about the Backrooms was done well, unfortunately. I was really looking forward to it. I'm not even lying about it. I did really like Obsession though, but I think there's like enough videos about people talking about Obsession and their theories and the way that they enjoyed the film and why it was a good film and like all of those things. I think like the fact that it's supposed to be a cinematic universe already and there's talks about the second film happening very soon. Yes. I'm excited to see what happens. Like, I think, what's his name? Curry? Something? Whatever his last name is. His last name is Curry. Something Curry. Anyways, the director of Obsession, he is a fantastic storyteller. I think his vision is clear. Even as I think what helps is that he wrote the screenplay himself. He's the screenwriter and the director, and I think that worked in his favor. He was able to not only, like, work on this film in a way, like, this base story of the film is so clear that it's very hard to misunderstand what the film is trying to say, which is why I think it works so well. And the mechanics of, like, the One Wish Willow are also very clear. Like, there's no hesitation in the way that it's explained. There's no, like, confusion that they like do accidentally. If anything is confusing, or if anything is hidden, if anything is a little bit like suspicious, it's on purpose. And I think that intentional placement of certain like story plots make it that the story is more compelling. In visually as well, it was gorgeous. The acting of all the actors was incredible. Like, it was very well done. A very well done film. That was really an enjoyable watch that I would totally watch again, because it was just that good. It's like really hard to like yeah. I just don't. I just can't believe that they did such a disservice to the universe of Backrooms, I think. Oh my god. Somebody is trying to explain every single part of the plot, and I genuinely don't think, like, I don't know why they're doing this. Like, they have like good explanations for the actions and like stuff and the symbolism or whatever, but like, I don't. Ugh. Ew. I don't like this. I don't. Ugh. I don't like the way that they decided to do work around this film. Like, it's just, somebody literally wrote a freaking article that's like, Backrooms ending explained for people who found it kind of boring. Like, I feel like there's no way to call it a film boring more than like a article that was like, so if you found it boring, maybe that's just because you were confused about the plot, because it's actually quite an interesting film. Like, you cannot convince me that the audience doesn't know their own, like, their own thoughts about a film. Let's be honest. Like, I know the modern audience can sometimes be very stupid, but it's never a good idea to consider your audience to be stupid. Okay? It's never a good idea to consider your audience to be stupid. This movie made it seem like we were either too, like, we were supposed to be high intellectuals or like really stupid to enjoy it. And nothing in between. You can't be of middling intellect. Sorry, guys. Unfortunately, we can't be average brain people. We either have to be big brain or no brain to enjoy a film like Backrooms. Oh well. Anyways. Yeah, I'm done talking. I really appreciate all the love and support. I am saying bye right now. I genuinely have nothing else to say. I'm just kind of tired. I want to sleep. I don't even know why I'm tired anymore. Like, I did do some work all day. I maybe did like 2 hours of work combined with a lot of long breaks in between every 20 minutes of work. So, yeah. Even today, I think like maybe 20 minutes of work, and then I was like, I'm done. I don't think I'll do more. I still like the stuff that I was supposed to done. 2 things. 1 thing, if I'm being honest. But oh well. It's okay. We'll make up for it tomorrow and then the day after. If I took this break as like if I took this day as like a semi-break, I might as well make up for it later in the week. But yes, I am gonna go. Take care of yourselves, you guys. Like, I really do appreciate all the love and support. Thank you so much for watching me work on my stuff while in front of you guys. I think it's a rare opportunity to show what I get up to. I've said this before, but I will still keep saying it again. I think it's a rare opportunity to still show the stuff that I get up to before and show off things that I am actually good at, and like show off the behind the scenes of actually making something. It feels like you guys are participating in it, which makes those songs even more special, if I'm being honest. Some of these songs, obviously, you guys have heard before. Like, I've shown demo versions of it and sang it for you live. But when they're actually done, I am really excited to, like, show off the live version of a song and, like, actually work on that with you guys. And, like, sing in front of you. And it'll be all my songs. So we can have a concert at some point soon. Right? Like, what a great thing for us. I genuinely do think that. Like, I just really think it's great that I am able to make these things, and I feel so privileged and I feel so lucky that I'm able to pursue the stuff that makes me happy. And hopefully that makes other people happy because they get to experience it in some way, shape, or form. Okay. I am done talking. I have nothing else to say. I just talked about backrooms and a little bit of work and more backrooms and, like, random stuff otherwise. But yes, I will see you guys tomorrow when we play games. And hopefully I've done more work because I fell asleep earlier in the day. Like, at night. I mean, I'll try to sleep before 2 a.m. and then hopefully wake up before 12 p.m. and then maybe I'll do more work tomorrow instead of doing, like, very little work. Okay, I'm done talking. I genuinely am done talking. I'm gonna go. You guys take care of yourselves, eat well and sleep well, and, you know, hydrate. That's always super important. I'm gonna go and get ready to go to bed. I just think maybe sleeping will help. And when I wake up tomorrow, I'll feel a lot better and ready to do more stuff. But yes, I shall see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye now. Mwah.